Well, hello there everyone. Welcome to another tutorial. We're gonna do some infographics with graphs and percentages and things like that. That's probably not a great way to explain it, but a better way to show you what's going on is to, well, show you. So keep in mind that these are in 2K, so you can use them in high quality videos and projects. Even if you have it in a just a regular HD project, you can scale the 2K projects down to the 1080p projects and it'll still be in excellent quality. Just with this one, I have a graph and you can see it unrolls pretty nicely and there's some nice effects towards it. It looks pretty nice, and then it'll go back and close at the end of it, so pretty neat, nice and clean. Nice thing is that you can adjust the length of how long it stays up on screen. So right over here, this is where the in effect ends, and then at the out, this is where the out effect starts. And if I wanted to make that longer, I can just drag that key over there and it'll last longer and it'll close there, right? So that's pretty cool. So there's 4 different projects that you guys are gonna get. And each of them have a different look. This first one, it has a background. I just locked it just to stop clicking on it. But if you wanted to change the color, you just click on it. You can do Control-Shift-Y to change the color. You can change it whatever you like. Or you can just go to Layer, Solid Settings, and change the solid settings there. Okay, so I'm just going to lock that again. The way well, just to show you the other 3 before we get into anything else. Here's the other one. It kind of loads up. And then, actually, I'm just going to show you what it looks like. So, it looks nice and clean. It starts off fast and then it slows down as it finishes. And then again, you can adjust the length between this when it stops, and then it goes back down, right? And then the third one is very similar. In fact, it'll just pop out and load up to 100%. You can even do 50%, 60%, whatever you want, right? And I'll show you how to go into that as well. Again, you can change the distance here and you can change the color of the background as well, right? In the last one, you can see this one also looks pretty nice. Got some good motion there. You can customize any of the colors and any of the movement, make it longer or shorter if you would like. And then these 2 things up here are the text up here. You can call it whatever you want. I just put that in there for fun. In the other ones I don't have it, but you know, you can do what you want with it. And then obviously there's the background. You can change the background color there. Now, how do you customize these and how do we streamline this workflow? So what we can do is let's start with this one. So this is the main composition here. We're going to double click on it to go to the controls. And oh boy, this might be a little daunting for you. It's okay, I'll show you what it is. So you don't really have to worry about any of these except the controls. I've kind of hidden it just to make it easier. We'll go into the effects controls here, and I'll just make these smaller just so it compresses. So here's how we're going to break this down. The bar colors, well, these are pretty self-explanatory. There's just the color of the bars that go up, and the loading bars essentially. You can change each individual color. So let's say you wanted to change this one to, I don't know, let's say a blue, right? Or a purple kind of. That's kind of cool. You can change the other ones. Let's make a yellow. And let's do this one in like a green. Okay, kind of cool. Looks different. But it works. Let's make them all different. Let's do a light blue. Okay, so you can change any color you like. On top of that, what you can do, I'm going to close these for a second just to keep things clean. There's the dotted line color. So if I unhide this, you can change this dotted line to whatever color you want. Let's say we want a red. You can change that to a red, right? Pretty cool. Then you have the dotted line opacity. That's just the brightness of it. So if I go into here, you can see the opacity here. It's 0% over here, it's hidden, and then at that keyframe there it's shown, and then it reverses the effect and goes out again at the end of the animation. We're not going to go too deep into that. You can for sure go into these controls. You can just press, like you can select it, press U to reveal all the edited properties. If you press U twice, it'll show all of the properties, right? It'll show all the colors and stuff, but I'm just going to press U once. It'll show all of the edited properties with the controllers. Now what happened, we're going to leave that. We're going to just focus on the ones here. These are the same things. So let's go to where we can see the effect. Bar control 1. I can show you here that it's this bar here. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing with everything. Text 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Each 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is corresponding to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here. So text 1, the text would be over here. So text scale is over here. This is what it controls. So this is text 1. If I lock this here, then we can just keep that there. And the text scale over here, right? So if I adjust it, you can see it adjusts that, right? So you don't even have to play with any of these. These are just all your controls. And you can just play around with each one. Number opacity, that's the opacity of these numbers. And the nice thing is they change along with the bars, right? So how do we do that? Well, if you want to know, here's how I did it. So what I did was I whipped the text source to the controller of the bar 1. So if I undo this, well, that's the color, whoops. Here we go, bar control. So if I increase that, it'll increase this bar, and at the same time increase this, right? So this will correspond to this, so it's like a percentage. You probably already knew that, but that's pretty cool. So you don't even have to change this and this. You just have to adjust the slider and it'll do it accordingly, right? Pretty cool. And it's same for the full graph. So this one, let's just close that for a second. So with this, we have something very similar. If I open this, you'll see all the controls here. They correspond to each of the things. If you wanted to figure out which one did which, if you didn't know, you can just adjust it and you see, okay, so I see there's that one. And then just do Control Z or Command Z, and then you know which one it does, and you're all set to go. Again, you can change the colors here. So let's change the color. Let's go with a red or a pinkish. Yeah. Okay. Kind of cool. So you can customize those. Very useful. With one of the circle graphs, what we have is obviously the background. I'm just going to lock that. You can change the color like I mentioned earlier. I'm going to double click on that, and this is pretty much the same as all the others. It's much less complex, but I mean there's color controls here, you can see, and then these texts, you don't really need to play with the text unless you wanted to change what the % sign says. You cannot change the 100% or what it says unless you change the slider here. So right over here, whoops, that's the wrong one. Right over here. So you can adjust what percentage it goes to, and yeah, but make sure that when you do edit it, you pay attention to the keyframes. So if I'm at this keyframe here, let's do 73%, and then we'll go to the next keyframe, make sure it's the same, so that it doesn't continue to increase, and you can have it at there, and then it'll go back down. Don't change the distance values over here like this, because you have that control in here with these markers here. You can change how long it lasts to be in this before it goes back out. And then there's obviously the last one here. Double click on here to go into the controls. I've locked everything here just to kind of make it easier. All you need to do is the controls here, change the colors if you want, mess around with which one is which, and you'll be able to tell. And let's see here, you can change the percentage like the other one. Now these will be on my store. You can check it out at marieffilms.shop or marieffilms.com/shop. You can check out that. It'll be great for the support. There's also a bunch of free stuff there, so you can check it out. Really appreciate the support, but otherwise that's pretty much it. Pretty useful, lots of different techniques. I might go into how to make these in the future. I'm not 100% sure yet. They took a lot of time, a lot of expressions, and a lot of just tedious work and figuring out. But yeah, otherwise, if you guys enjoyed, consider subscribing. I am going to be making more in the future. There's also a bunch of other tutorials on my channel you can check out. But otherwise, remember, until next time, keep smiling, keep shooting.